India is now punching its weight. It is not against anybody. It is that we want to trade on our terms and our currency is as important as any other currency. We will trust your currency, you trust our currency, and we will trade in our currencies. India does not have a negativist. It has a positive view. All this makes dollar one more currency, not the currency. Europe wants to have a free trade agreement with India. Europe's relations with China is not an independent one-to-one kind of thing. There is American interest also always involved. And Europe will finally come to an adjustment with China. Maybe a imbalance will be there, but it will find accommodation with China. A free trade agreement with India will come through, and in the meantime they will hold the special relationship with the United States intact. Germany has a very long history of trade with India. 17 German companies are listed on the BSE.
Was there a point where some geopolitical event or some actions of India affected the trade between two countries?
Specifically speaking about India, they have been very, very mature in handling the trade relationship. We have had difference of opinion. Governments have come, governments have gone. British government has changed. Their policies towards India have really undergone a thorough change. So, for example, when Trump asked Europe to apply sanctions on India, he's indirectly telling Europe to hurt yourself. Europeans are mature enough to understand that.
And what are those sectors in which India-Germany trade relations can, kind of go to the next stage?
We started with machine tools. The second is defense, as you mentioned. Germany looks to India for software. Another area in Germany which always goes under the radar is chemicals. Agrochemicals, pesticides and waste chemicals. They are going to lead the world again. India has never been accused of dumping. And the same applies for the Europeans. German companies cannot dump. They have to raise money at real. Only country which can dump is China.
Namaste. Business and trade are the backbone of every economy of every country in the world today. But it's also true that we live in a world where trade disruptions, supply chain disruptions are a norm. The way the world is moving, the way policy decisions, tariffs are impacting the world economy and different countries is impacting the business and trade of almost every country in the world today. Now, to make sense of these things, especially in context of India relations with Europe and other countries in terms of business and trade, we are joined by Mr. Mani Bhushan. Mani Bhushan ji, he lives in Munich, Germany. He's an experienced lobbyist with deep insights into European business and policy circles. He plays an active role in India Business Forum. He engages closely with ambassadors, the External Affairs Ministry, and global business delegates. So we are fortunate to have Mr. Mani Bhushan. Thank you for joining us. So to start off, just to make sense of how the world is changing, how are these realignments, especially US, China, India and Europe, how are the geopolitical realignments affecting trade and supply chain? If you can throw some light on that.
Okay, so you have, in this whole world canvas, we have taken the big four, the China, US, India and Europe. US is reducing its what we call dominance in the world stage. That means it's not a withdrawal, but it is a reduction in dominance. So we use terms like de-dollarization and things. If you leave the jargons out and take the fact, what the world has done is world has now started trading with each other without the dollar. So that means if India trades with, India has been, we have noticed the structure over the last 10 years of trade relations of India. I start with India. We have never joined any multilateral trading group as a policy, because a multilateral trading group always involves dollar as the settlement currency. We are insisting on a one-to-one FTA. It is not people see it as anti-dollar move. It is not an anti-dollar move. It is just that India is now punching its weight. Okay. It is not against anybody. It is that we want to trade on our terms and our currency is as important as any other currency. We will respect your currency as much as any other currency. We will trust your currency, you trust our currency, and we will trade in our currencies. we should not take a negative view of this. Would be like, oh, you are taking the dollar away and hurting the United States. No, it is not.
Okay.
So that is a negativist view.
Right.
India does not have a negativist view. It has a positive view. I will trust, if we do trade with the Vietnam, we trust the dong and say we will trust the Vietnamese dong, we will trade with you.
Right.
The Vietnamese will say we will trust the rupee. So why should a third currency, trust factor, I don't need a third currency, is what we are saying. Until now, and we don't want to join multilateral trade groups which have dollar.
Right.
So we have signed an FTA with Australia. We trust the Australian dollar. The Australians trust the Indian rupee. We have an FTA with England or United Kingdom, and then FTA, and then we trust the pound. They trust the rupee. We have FTAs with almost every country in the Middle East. They trust our currency. We trust theirs.
We might as well come up with the FTA with US. You don't know if things work.
If things
fine.
work out,
By
yes,
end of this year,
that would be the feather in the cap if we are able to sign a free trade agreement.
Right.
The EU one is really going through. The EU one will be a real game changer because EU is 26 countries. So that means we have taken the interests of 26 countries into account to trade with India when we have an EU FTA. I think by this year, and I'm very confident that will be signed. So this is not against anybody. Each one looking to this is how we should see it, because there is a view, commonly held view, usually from political class in the United States, which comes out as it is a move against the United. It is not. It is not a move against anybody. It is a move for the people of India.
Very important insight.
We have to get into the game on our terms. We are a big player in the world, and we will punch our weight. We don't want to punch above our weight. That would be again hegemonical. We don't want to do. What India is trying to do is, yes, in the neighborhood, rupee is the currency.
Right.
UPI is the payment mechanism. It is even, for example, if we take Maldives, Sri Lanka, Nepal will follow. Rupee trade is going on. We have extended this to the Middle East also. Now with these FTAs, it is not that rupee is going to be hegemonistic currency in the world. No, it is one more currency. All this is makes dollar one more currency, not the currency. So that means if you want to trade with India, you don't need to hold US dollar. That frees a lot of countries from a lot of other obligations.
It's like countries having its options.
Yes.
India is also playing its options.
So,
but again, trying to make sense in terms of the supply chain management or the disruptions, again, given the tariff war, just two things. One, how is Europe seeing this? I mean, there are talks of Europe trying to de-risk from China so that they're not dependent on China. That's the first thing. Second thing is this trade war with, or if I can say tariff war with US, is it beneficial for India-Europe relationships? I mean, how is Europe seeing everything? One is like, do they really want to de-risk from China? Or second thing, how do they see India, especially when India is in a tariff war with US?
Okay, let's split this topic into different.
Yeah.
Europe wants to have a free trade agreement with India.
Okay.
This has been in the works for the past few years. It is not an easy thing even for the EU to get all the countries to the table. They have 26 countries, lot of interests, conflicting interests, parallel interests, and then the United States. They cannot do something which will affect their relationships with the United States. They have to. Yes, it is a geopolitical fact that within that they have really worked very hard. Indians have also worked very, Bharat has worked very hard to get there. We will get the free trade agreement. This is not only a free trade agreement in goods, should include some sort of service-based agreement also, which will go one step ahead. Europe's relations with China is not an independent one-to-one kind of thing. There is American interest also always involved.
Okay.
So they cannot make a Chinese relationship without taking into consideration America's interests also.
Okay.
If we see this de-risking from China, but what is the risk in China? There is, so usually we use this word very freely, saying that Europe wants to de-risk, but there is no risk in China. China is still China. It is still manufacturing. The only thing that has withdrawn from the world is the dollar. So the Chinese manufacturing, which was heavily dependent on the US dollar, is now looking for markets across the world, which is a normal thing for any country to do when one of their biggest markets is looking a little bit shaky. They look to other markets. So Europe now has the problem of protecting their markets, which they should do, because it is a, and also at the same time expand their exports into China also. So there will be a new kind of arrangement. Previously, when America was tariff free, China could get their goods into the United States. So then they really did not stress much on doing trade with India or with the Middle East or Europe, because when you have a very big market which is tariff free, you tend to. Now they are aggressively looking, which is normal. It's not against anybody, not against China. If I am manufacturing economy and I want to find buyers for my products, I will knock on every door. Whichever door, it doesn't matter. It's a trade deal. So Europe has this dual problem now, that they have to defend their markets and they also have to promote their products in China. At the same time, there is a small setback for them in the second part, where Chinese economy is slowing down because of the dollar retreat. So that means they are not as open to imports as they were before. So that means for Indians or Europeans to sell in China is going to be tougher. They are also going to be protectionist.
No.
So it's not a negative thing. It is typical for every economy to take this shape and go. And Europe will finally come to an adjustment with China. Maybe a imbalance will be there, but it will find accommodation with China. A free trade agreement with India will come through. And in the meantime, they will hold the special relationship with the United States intact.
So, I mean, from what you say, see, they are being pragmatic. They work for their interest, and just like India works for its interest. So, just continuing the same thing. So, maybe we are kind of obsessed with China because so many things new are going around. China has been kind of the manufacturing hub for the world for almost 2 decades, 3 decades. And many countries are dependent on it, US, Europe. But going forward, how do European governments, especially you were in Germany, how do the German businesses, entities, government, how do they view India? I don't want to use the word replacement to China, but as an emerging manufacturing hub or a business trade partner, how do they view India? Do they see India as a trusted partner compared to China, which is seen as kind of hegemonistic or something? Okay. Do they see India as a trusted business partner, or how do you see this trade relationship emerging with India, Europe and Germany in particular?
First is, Germany has a very long history of trade with India, which is missed out in. For example, Bosch was here in the 50s. The earliest Indians who went to Germany.
The problem is in the current narratives, we forget the past.
Yes, it is very important. And we have always had a very strong relationship. For example, one of the reasons the Coimbatore area emerged as an electrical parts hub is because who came there first was Lufthansa. So, for example, just to give an example, there is a township near Frankfurt called Langen, which contains Indians. Mostly a lot of Indians live there, and they have been living there for the last 70-80 years. These are the people who moved with Lufthansa then, because it is next to the airport. So this is nothing to do with today's question, but just
there's a good
relationship. Bosch is Germans have very deep trade relationships with India, and as always, they do it very low key. They make the best products, but they don't market their product. It is. So they really don't market their products. It has to sell on its brand that it should go. It has been the norm. They are not aggressive marketing people. So that is why they always slip under the radar.
Okay.
So for example, if you look at the number of companies listed on the BSE, 17 German companies are listed on the BSE. Bosch is there, Schaeffler is there, Siemens is there, Siemens Energy. You have a list of them. Why are they listed here? Because they have very deep, they don't come and list on the Indian stock market unless you have a,
Oh, yeah.
and there are it's not only, they are the big ones. Okay, let us say all the names I mentioned are in the top DAX companies. But there are small and middle companies, Fowler. They are all, GMM Fowler is a very big business. So they are all listed. Even there are some 20 companies in the small medium sector which are listed. BASF is listed. There are a lot of companies listed. Our business relationship is long. It has started with manufacturing. It has started with manufacturing. Imagine this, 60s and manufacturing. Okay, we might say we might be supplying small parts or we might be supplying side parts, whatever, not core manufacturing. We have been in manufacturing. It has then extended to design because our engineering skill grew in India. It has then come to software, the standard go through. We have come into banking, so we are supporting banking services, financial services, manufacturing. So we are working with every German sector. India has an exposure to almost every sector in Germany, including pharma. So from a German point of view. Now when you put EU into the consideration, for example, the largest number of phones people have in Eastern Europe, Czech Republic, imports from India are made in India. Okay, you can call them, okay, they are Chinese phones. No, they are not. They are all made in India and they are sold there. So for example, our foreign minister Jaishankar always goes to Czech Republic. Narendra Modi landed in Croatia, nobody noticed. He was there 2 days. Why would the prime minister? He's not going. He's not a prime minister who goes on holiday.
Yeah. Exactly.
We have built up individual relationship with individual countries on particular product lines, service lines, and this is now fructifying into the EU-India FTA. There is a thought in Europe, which is also correct, which says that, okay, we were now reliant on China. Why don't we manufacture everything in Europe? Which is a very valid point. This thought should be given a lot of discussion because Europe should also look at, they cannot completely rely on outsourcing everything. And this thought is also there, but at the moment that thought has taken a backseat because of the energy problem. But I think that will become active, and I think it is very logical for me when we interact with industries that they are not very comfortable with completely being dependent on 1 or 2 countries for their supply chain, because they are selling worldwide. It is their brand name that will take hit if this supply chain fails. So there is a movement towards that.
Okay.
But otherwise, the relationship between Germany, industrial relationship between Germany and India, including investment relationship. Some of the German funds are one of the biggest FIIs. Whenever we see on the market the FIIs, how much did they sell or how much did they buy, there are a lot of FIIs from Europe, especially the sovereign funds from the Nordic countries, pension funds from southern countries. They are all investing in the Indian stock market as FIIs, and there are even FPI, portfolio investors are also there. This relationship is there. What we see in the media is, we should not put too much stress on that. Second one is, geopolitically, it is possible that India and Europe don't align on a lot of. But this is okay. We don't have to align on everything to do trade. To have a trade and a business relationship, alignment in all respects is not necessary. So we might have a difference of opinion because that depends on their local population, how they are. What the politics reflects their local opinion, our politics reflects our local opinion. So our local opinion, their local might not match on a lot of issues, especially when it comes to the Middle Eastern issues. But this is perfectly okay. I think at the top level, there is a very sane-headed thinking, very calm-headed thinking, and everybody is aligned towards the prospect of a good trade relationship.
You just mentioned about geopolitics. You've been in Europe and Germany for so many decades.
was there a point where some geopolitical event or some actions of India affected the trade between two countries, India and Europe? Were there any moments during the last decades where some geopolitical event impacted the trade? Or I mean, do you see some that kind of risk emerging in the future?
But specifically speaking about India, they have been very mature in handling the trade relationship.
Okay, they don't.
Even under duress, if we have been a part of this, India has been a part of the supply chain. We have not in any way digressed because of political opinion making, political decisions. During the war, before the war, for example, this controversial topic of oil supply to Europe. Always ask the question, everybody asks the question, why is India buying Russian oil? The question should be asked, why is the end customer buying this? You don't have to buy. So, for example, if India is not able to sell that oil anywhere, they will not buy it from Russia. That's the logical question. But that's politics aside. Even Europe, for that matter, we have had disagreements on parts. But whenever we have been importers, for example, France has, when we buy the our defense equipment from France and Germany, they have been very stable. Okay. Been a very reliable supplier. We have never heard a statement which we have had complaints with GE 404. I think this is an old topic that they are delaying this engine for some reason or the other. But we never hear such complaint from France. Have we heard that we have a problem with Rafale about we bought? No. We have buy spare parts. Do we have a problem with Airbus? No. We have had difference of opinion. There have been a lot of difference. Governments have come, governments have gone, British government has changed, their policies towards India have really undergone a thorough change. From a very frosty relationship during the Theresa May government to a friendly relationship now. But the trade has stable. This is maturity. This is extreme high maturity what both leaderships have shown and saying that de-link these two so that it is not about hurting each other. We will pursue our interest. Okay. But this is something we have to do because it is good for both of our peoples.
But I mean, going forward, especially with Trump's presidency and the nature of his unpredictable politics or the way he deals with things, tariff is one pain point between India and US, and now there is news that he is forcing EU to impose sanctions on whoever is aligning with Russia or buying Russian oil, which includes India. So such things, do you see, impacting India, Europe or Germany trade or business? I mean, if Europe decides to put sanctions on India, how would it affect? Are there any other risks, similar risks, which you foresee in the?
See, this is now we are. This is not. It is coming towards the geopolitical.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So, for example, when Trump asks Europe to apply sanctions on India, he's indirectly telling Europe to hurt yourself. Europeans are mature enough to understand that, and their reaction shows that. When Trump also made provocative statements against India, our leadership handled it very maturely. It is not a one tweet against the other. No, they did not do.
They didn't do it.
Europe also did not do. If you see the reaction from EU, from the various, they kept quiet. They kept quiet. They did not say yes. They did not say no. That is a very mature reaction which says it's business as usual. Okay, that is your opinion. We take your advice. We will see what we can do. And I was really, thinking that at least, I was worried that there would be a difference of opinion with some leaders putting out tweets, I am going to do this to please the Americans, and nothing like that happened. Even with the internal differences of opinion in Europe, the voice against this was solidly straightforward. Okay, no knee-jerk reaction.
What do you see as the key hurdles on one side? And what are those sectors in which India-Germany trade relations can, kind of go to the next stage? Whether it's defense, technology, any specific sector you foresee, which is, kind of the hallmark of India-Germany trade relations?
We started with machine tools.
Right.
That is going to be there. The Germany are leaders in machine tools. They are going to remain leaders in machine tools. We might make some of those machines. I'm not saying we are going to copy or anything, but they are going to be leaders. The first is. The second is defense, as you mentioned. Yes, Germany is almost the second world's largest exporter of arms.
Definitely.
Nobody knows that, but after the United States, is one of the largest. So large parts of our German economy are dependent on arms exports. And India is lucky to partner with all of them. We have no difference of opinion regarding Germany saying we are not going to sell this to you. No. We are in a very mature relationship, and we have no colliding interests. So that we can really have a trade in that. Germany looks to India for software services. Now with the AI coming in, yes, India looks to that. German universities get a lot of Indian students. Very talented students are coming to German universities, and their research courses are there. Another area in Germany which always goes under the radar is chemicals.
Chemicals.
It is a leader in chemicals. There are towns built based on chemicals there. And we have been lucky to have those companies also operating in India, and then this is now a little bit slowed down because of energy problems in Germany, but it will get resolved. Agrochemicals, pesticides and waste chemicals, they are going to lead the world again. They are going to lead. And of course, automobile is something which is well known, so we don't need to really mention that. It's the motherland of the four top brands in the world, and then that is good. They are going to be there. So the dream of almost every boy growing up anywhere in the world is to drive a BMW.
Yeah, it's a dream even today.
Today, it is not been fulfilled even after so many years, and even after they exporting so much to everywhere. It still will continue. So they are going to lead there. So when we take passenger car, then they are also going to be leaders in trucks, because the top 3 truck making companies are in Germany. Daimler, Scania and MAN are there. And then they are switching very rapidly towards renewable energy sources. It is a big movement going on. Okay, there is plus minuses, criticisms and all sorts of debates. But the direction has been set. Whatever government comes in Germany, whether it is a green government or a left-wing, it doesn't matter. Even now with the CDU government, we are on that path. We didn't change path. Everybody was quite a little bit worried that, maybe CDU comes, we will go away from. No, we did not. It is a path which has been set. We are going there. That will force a lot of change in the downstream industries, from green steel to battery run automobiles, then leading when lithium is again, there is a debate going on, right? Lithium is polluting. We will go towards hydrogen, and the base research will come from Germany in the end. I'm not saying that nothing comes from India, no, that is not the point, but it is going to come from there, and it is going to be beneficial to this. And now with UK FTA signed, they are watching it closely, how it is progressing.
Obviously. Right.
Yes, and so I think even our textiles will have a big market, because now textile means in Germany it is Bangladesh, China, Vietnam.
Yes.
And there is another turning which is happening, that India is not only going to be a supplier anymore; it's a big market. So when India becomes a big market for, let us say, 2 of the big shoemaking companies, and Nike, they have to move manufacturing here. It will not make sense of those volumes to be produced somewhere and shipped across. So that means they will have to outsource a lot of manufacturing to India to service the Indian market. We cannot rely on shipping for the volumes that the Indian market will require. So it will be a 2-way, almost balanced trade. In the now we have very small imbalance, but I think it will balance out, because we are going. This is purely speaking about Germany only.
Again, coming back to geopolitics, earlier before coming here, we were just discussing like the fall of German manufacturing in terms of volumes, and the way Trump is kind of leading in protectionism or getting back manufacturing to US. Do you see that kind of risk happening with Germany? Because one is fall in manufacturing for so many reasons, right? Second thing is with the issue of immigration, the social changes which are happening. Do you see where somewhere this German society or the politics within Germany can get protectionist and can impact, the relationship or business relation, trade relationship in India? Do you see that happening or?
Protectionism should come. In the end, if America becomes protectionist, everybody has to become protectionist.
Right.
So there is no free trade anymore. If your largest trading partner became protectionist, so if Europe becomes protectionist, it is not going to be. I think India is very much ready for that.
Okay.
And we know where they will try to build the barriers, and we will not try to. We will work around it, work with them, and we are not seen as a country which can dump goods. India has never been accused of dumping.
Yeah, it's a very important
Point, because all our money, dumping happens when you are able to sell products below cost price, below the cost of manufacturing. Only country which can dump is China, because they have tariff relationship with the United States, so that means it's a free flow of dollars. So that means you can produce so many items, and what United States buys its share, that means your profits are made. The rest can be sold below cost price. This is dumping.
Yeah.
But we have to raise money at our real rates of money, 7-8%. Our industrialists have to raise money in India. So we are not
afford to dump.
No, and the same applies for the Europeans. German companies cannot dump. They have to raise money at real costs. Their costs are higher because they have higher labor costs with strong protection mechanism for employment, healthcare costs, and they are really employee friendly. So that means their costs on employment is quite high. So they are not going to dump. This is one big headache which is off the table when we deal with Europe. So they know you cannot dump because you are going to get your money at 8%. How can you sell it? And we know that you cannot raise money at 0%. You got to get it 8%. So you will not dump. So we will be maturely handling this. Protectionist, as you said, protectionism will come, but that will come because of the risk measurement keeps changing. The risk measurement comes from their geopolitical outlook at their top political thinking. And as and then that keeps shifting, the protectionist barriers will come in between, then come down. This is a natural thing. Same thing occurs in every country. They reassess their geopolitical risks periodically, and it will come. That will take into account the local conditions, as you said, immigration, demographics. And
demographics.
It will come, but major risk it is not. It is not, because we know each other very well now. We know their capabilities. They know our capabilities. We know what we can do. They know what we can do. We are not a risk to each other. So that we are going to head on. And we might be competing in the world, selling our products. We might be selling our autos in Africa. They might be selling their cars in Africa.
Right.
But that is competition. It's very healthy competition. But there are no major FTA when it goes into play. I think that should cement it for the next 5 to 10 years. We will have a very stable relationship.
And it's a very positive outlook.
It's a positive outlook, yes. It is. We should just ignore the negativity in the media, the editorials. And we are very too mature. Europe is a mature continent. Occasionally some statement will come out and everybody will go elastic about it. And it's just a statement.
That need not necessarily impact.
It will never translate into policy. It will never translate into trade finally. Because they know that you touch trade, you are impacting people, jobs, taxes. In Germany, you have a problem with one industry, for example. It's a small country. The real estate of that area gets impacted. You know how low this goes. So, for example, if there is an exporter, let us say sitting in an order in Westphal, one of the largest states, exporting states, and somebody does something which will affect the export of that company. It first affects the jobs, then affects the rental market, then comes to the property market. It's immediate because it's small and it is noticeable. They will not do that. They are very They handle it with great maturity, right from the lower level politicians. Okay, statements will come, provocative statements. This is political, but to translate to policy, there is maturity.
And that's probably one maturity which our viewers or readers need to have, is like the news chatter and the social media chatter does not always translate into policy or impact on business.
You're spot on that.
It remains there.
It remains there. Yes, it remains there.
Right. The final thing is like you've been part of IBF, the forum. How do you see the role of such forums like IBF in promoting better business relations, trade relations between countries like India and Germany? And what do you see the role of multilateral forums like BRICS or G20? How do they impact? Are they adding value, or do they bring in some conditions along with them?
Two different things you mentioned. One is IBF. IBF is a fantastic platform. So even a very small entrepreneur from India and a very small scale one-man companies in Germany also do come to this forum. It gives them exposure. We get to know that they exist and what they are doing, what they are not doing, and we promote that dialogue. And it's a place where you can seek a lot of advice regarding export, import, restrictions, documentation, LCs, and how to do and all these things. It is a very positive platform. Anybody, any kind of business, all supported. We can approach the consulates. They are all helpful. So it's a forum. So it's purely with no restriction. Anybody can enter and trade.
It's a very constructive forum.
It's
like win-win for both.
Win-win for both. Yeah. Anybody in Germany wants an exposure in India and no knowledge, come to IBF. You will find your buyer or your seller, whoever you are looking for. The same applies to Indian entrepreneurs to come to the IBF. Now you spoke about G7, G20 and BRICS forum. G7 is completely different when compared to G20 and BRICS. G7 is a forum which is the dominant countries of the world, led by United States. So it is United States itself. So that means anything and everything in G7 is purely United States. Okay, the other countries get their share, but to be frank, it is G20 is more Asia driven. So that means everybody is there, but G20 is a forum which gives a larger platform to the emerging economies. So, and BRICS is completely different. BRICS is a unit BRICS is an acronym which was coined by Goldman Sachs.
Now it's BRICS plus.
Goldman Sachs in 2000, long back in 2002. So this is a different platform. This is now with the current discourse, it has been made a villain of the world kind of thing. It is not. It is a platform of the largest populations.
Yes. So probably what I meant was like, how do you see it impacting, business trade relationship between India, Germany, and India, EU?
BRICS is nothing to do with it. It will not come in between India and EU. EU will have to find its place in the world because when the dollar retreats, America is not retreating, the dollar is in retreat. So Europe will find its equation with, they might not want to
BRICS countries,
to go with one objective of BRICS. They might want to make deals with each one of the BRICS, which is perfectly fine.
Not as a single entity, but they'll...
Yes, which is what we do. We go for FTA. They also would want to go. BRICS by itself will have minimum impact. Okay, there are some politicians who will say BRICS is doing that and this is that. It's all okay, but then they will treat each one of these countries independently. Then BRICS has BRICS has a policy, BRICS has a bank, but they have no currency of their own.
No.
And there is no plan either for any such currency. That is all hot air. No. Because why would you want to replace the dollar with one more hegemonistic currency called BRICS? No, nobody will do that. We respect every currency and every currency respects the others. So BRICS is going to be there. They will try to work with individually with each, and their equation with each of the BRICS countries is completely different. On one side, they have a hot-cold relationship with Russia. But there is a very mature realization that Russia has been our neighbor for 2000 years and it is going to be for the next 2000 years. You can't change that. So you can blow hot, cold, but I think somewhere we will make it an equation with Russia. Europe will make an equation with Russia. And
That's
it is
very
logical. If America is able to get cheap Canadian energy with a devalued dollar in the future, Europe has to seek a cheaper energy resource from its neighbor, and Russia is its neighbor. I think it will come. Now it is not there, but now there is a lot of with Ukraine, and there is a lot of emotion and war, but it will resolve itself. It will take time. It will resolve itself, and then it. And with China, they have had a relationship, but that was more defined by the United States policy. Where even so long as the United States rolled the mat for China, the EU also invested in China, and then they were. Now the United States withdraws from China, and now the EU is. But they will redefine the relationship as per that condition. With India, they have had a very long-term relationship under various governments. This is very important.
Exactly.
And now we have a very business-friendly government. So that means it is going to, politics aside, business-wise, the equation will be very good.
Yes.
It's the same thing with Brazil. Brazil has to decide whether it is caught in a bind. It's inside the American sphere of influence.
Exactly.
But I think they will work out something with the European continent as to how they will. And the same applies to South Africa. South Africa is at the moment in a flux. On one side they have a completely Western-oriented foreign policy, and one side they want to be part of BRICS, and they will find a balance to do business with. Europe is very close to Africa. They have done business for thousands of years. I think they will, and that the whole BRICS will not come in between when Europe deals with each one of
that was the intention of asking question. I mean, I was just wondering if Germany or the EU views BRICS as a competitor. It's not like that.
Not
It's
like
very reassuring.
What they will do is they will take a very mature view of a country to country when they realize that everybody is looking at country to country. A grouping is good, an acronym is good. You can come and meet every 3 months, have coffee and go. It's nice, and you can have a policy of your own. But Europe is a large continent, so they will deal one-to-one rather than with a grouping. Now that they are free from, American influence slightly reduces, they will have more freedom in making those choices.
So it was a great discussion, very insightful discussion. And probably so many, we touched upon so many nitty-gritties in terms of India-EU relation, trade relations, and especially the way Europe views India. And it's very pragmatic and also forward-looking and very positive. So thanks for your words. It's been very insightful. Thank you.
Thank you.